Howdy y'all, this is Austin Gridley Pickleball coming at you with a video. Today I'm wanting to talk to you about playing recently with Vivienne David, and we're just going to go into everything about that. So first thing is why did she play with me? Number one is I was on the wait list. Briefly getting into the standby method that AJ Kohler talked about. I was signed up for the men's with Shelton, and I didn't have a mixed partner, and so I was just on the wait list for the Atlanta tournament, and uh, and so she, in order for her to play, she had to play with someone on the wait list, and so that's one reason she played with me, and uh, and yeah, so that's the standby method, just being available for the tournament, being available to play, and then hopefully a better player asks you to play last minute. So the second reason is, and this is a golden nugget right here, super important. Basically, one of my coaches and one of my friends was at 2OC, and he talked with Vivian, and he basically talked me up. He was like, "Hey, Austin's doing all this great stuff. He's a great player. You should really give it a go with him." And and honestly, I've had a couple breakthrough opportunities. One was with Shelton. That was probably the first one, and then the second one was, I mean, this is probably the second one. Um, and so, uh, yeah, and usually I perform pretty good when I get a breakout opportunity, and I did okay with Vivian. We'll talk about the end results later. But then talking once again about friends talking you up, this is super important. Uh, I had when I That's how I ended up playing with Shelton too. That's how I've gotten both of my super good opportunities. So the With Shelton, one of my good friends, Alex DePaz, he was a 5-0 player at the time. He was thinking maybe of playing a tournament with me, and he was playing some rec with Shelton. And Shelton was talking to him, and he's like, "So, Alex, who are you going to end up playing with for a couple of these tournaments?" And Alex was like, "Well, I'm thinking about playing with Austin." And Shelton was like, really?" And so, I mean, he took it to an extreme. He then asked me to play 3 or 4 tournaments, and one of them was nationals, and I was not prepared to play nationals with Shelton at the time, and so. Uh, Anyways, finishing the story about that, the third tournament we did, I found out we did way better than anyone expected, and I did good for Shelton on that one. But anyways, yeah, so having good friends talk you up in the background is super important. I highly recommend it. That's how I've got most of my opportunity. Okay, moving on. So I think those are just me being on the wait list, and then a friend talking me up. I think that's why Vivian played with me. Not 100% sure, but that's what I hypothesized. So, anyways, I was pretty nervous going into this with her. Um, and a big part of it was right before that tournament, the week before, she beat Ben Johns and Simone Jardim with Deckelbar. And then they almost got a gold or silver at that tournament. I mean, she was just coming off some really big success, and here's me. I'm a relatively unknown at mixed doubles, and so I was fairly nervous about it. Um, and so quite a bit of pressure, more than usual. The first round we played Susanna Barr and Rob Cassidy, and they're really good at mixed doubles. Surprisingly, they've had more success than you would think, and so pretty good first match, and we ended up winning it in 2 games. And after that match, I told myself, I'm like, okay, we won a pretty good one. I'm no longer gonna completely embarrass myself this tournament. It's gonna be okay. Unfortunately, at that point, we play Leah Jansen, who's I think has gotten a lot better at mixed doubles. Kudos to her. And then we play Jay DeVilliers. They ended up getting silver at that tournament. They played really well. But anyways, the first game, apparently I didn't listen to myself where I'm like, hey, I'm no longer gonna be nervous. I missed 3 serves that game, and I mean, brief story on that. I would one of the triggers that I do to help stay calm is I'll touch my hip. when I'm like, instead of like getting super upset or something, I'll just touch my hip and like kind of looks like my back hurts. The commentator was he was saying like, oh, I wonder if Austin's back's hurt, and he's like holding his back and he's like falling over, and really my soul was dying, not my back. And so anyways, like that killed me. I was so bummed about it, one of my golden opportunities, and I'm missing serves. uh, but anyways, I started to calm down a little bit. The second game I played much better. They did win 11-6, 11-6. So not awful, not great, but not bad. And they ended up beating Stratman and Ben Johns to get silver. So it's not like they were a bad team. But anyways, so that happened. Next we played Georgia Johnson, and she's I'm so sorry. I can't remember his name. He's like a 16-year-old. Uh, has glasses, brown hair. Anyways, he took care of business there. Next, we played Adam Stone and Corinne Carr, and uh, my coach did date on it. I played really well that game. We ended up winning it 18-16. So a really close game. That was a pretty good win. Adam Stone's like ranked 10th in mixed doubles. So pretty good win. And then we played, JW and Lee Whitwell. They won 15-10. I was playing pretty good that game, but I mean we lost it. Couple interesting things. One is in the Corinne and Adam game. I've been practicing this like to the corner serve, where I'll do side spin and it hits like right on the corner, and a lot of times I haven't been doing it, but for that game I did it one time on Corinne, nailed the corner, ace. I mean I've practiced that probably like 10 hours or more, and it's just funny how you'll practice shots so much for one time in the game, and if it gives you 1 point, it was a pretty worthwhile investment. So sorry about that. And so anyways, a fun thing about that. And then JW was playing super good the JW game, and Lee earned me like three times. They were putting a fair bit of pressure, so they played good. They got fourth place. So we had some better wins. We probably did better than a lot of people expected, but honestly, I like my mentality, I think of myself pretty highly. I expect a lot from myself, and so honestly, I think it was for me. I just view it as okay. Like we had some good wins, like I'm okay with it, but we didn't do good enough where I have like top 20 ladies knocking on my door. And really, that's what I want, and I had a golden opportunity with Vivienne to get that. So anyways, I'll keep grinding, keep trying to get those kind of things. But so it was okay. We had some pretty good results. So my philosophy on mixed doubles with Vivienne especially, I wanted to try and do it less like I'm the alpha. Part of it is I'm less of the alpha in that situation, kind of. I wanted to try to do it more even, where you're just playing pickleball. And it's not the meta. Like you see all these Facebook warriors saying, "Why does the guy come play all the whole court? I hate mixed doubles." Blah blah blah. It's the meta. The guy. It's what works. But if it didn't work, Ben Johns and Simone Jardine would stop doing it, or all the top teams are doing it. And so to argue against that mentality, I think is ridiculous. I do hypothesize that there may be a better way to do it with playing it more equal. And I mean that tournament, I don't think, I mean I obviously didn't show it. I still hypothesize it, and I learned a fair bit with it. With that theory though, I hold that like the one thing I think I learned on that is if I'm on the left and I'm playing with a lady, I have to cover just a tiny bit more on like the speed ups. I'd say maybe 60 or 65% of it, where I'll cover just a tiny, like if I have to extend my arm to take a forehand, I think I have to take that shot. Even though maybe normally in men's doubles the partner would cover it with the backhand, I think that the guy in mixed doubles has to take that shot. So it's not like a huge difference. It really isn't, but I think when I try this again, and I will be trying it again. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep trying to do that. Just cover a tiny bit more, um, put a little bit less pressure on the lady, and kudos to Vivienne. She did very well. I mean, it's very different for her to be covering. I mean, I'm relatively half of the court compared to playing with Eckel, where she's covering 25, 30%. I mean, 25 is probably generous. 25% of the court, and she did very well covering 25% of the court. She countered Ben like every time she won, so she did really good at that. But it's much more difficult to cover more of the court, and she did fabulous with me. I thoroughly enjoyed playing with her. But yeah, that's some of the thoughts I have on mixed doubles, and I hold that the alpha thing I think will eventually fade, but until until I can show it, it's obviously not going to be a thing. And I do think there is a time where maybe the guy takes over, but I don't think yeah, I hope that there's a better way to do it. But yeah, it was a golden opportunity I had with Vivienne, one of two that I've had. Unfortunately, I didn't do enough with it, but I am thankful for the opportunity, and I did okay. Hopefully, I get more opportunities in the future, and I'll keep improving and getting better at mixed doubles. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, I found some things that you like, please subscribe to my channel, and if you like it, share the video. And yeah, appreciate you watching. Pickle on, dudes.